A friend of mine, Mike, was in a really good mood the other day. He just checked his quarterly statement. He's been with this high-end wealth management firm for about 3 years now. The kind of place with quiet hallways, dark wood everywhere, leather chairs. He leans over and says, "Zeke, look at the service I get. Mahogany offices, annual steak dinners." Then he smiles and goes, "And the fee? 1%. That's basically the price of this coffee." I looked at his statement, then I looked at the coffee. I felt sick because I realized Mike wasn't buying a coffee. He was buying a $500,000 invisible anchor. Most people think 1% is a rounding error. They think it's the cost of doing business. In the world of compounding, 1% isn't 1% of your profit. It's 1% of your entire life's work, every single year. Today, I'm opening the books on the small number illusion. By the end of this, you'll know why your helpful advisor is actually retiring on your money instead of you. Imagine this for a second. It's the year 2056. You're 65. You didn't mess around. You did what responsible people do. You saved. You invested. You didn't chase nonsense. One morning, you open your account. $1.2 million. And for a moment, you feel relief and okay, I made it. You feel like a winner. But then a ghost sits down next to you. It's the ghost of what could have been. If you had avoided the 1% fee, that $1.2 million would be $1.8 million. That's $600,000 difference. That's 10 more years of travel. That's the beach house you never bought. That's the inheritance your kids will never see. You took 100% of the risk. You did 100% of the work. But the guy in the suit took 30% of your final wealth just for managing the pile. Now you're probably thinking, but Zeke, my advisor says he beats the market. Stick around because I'm going to show you the one document the industry keeps in a legal vault specifically to hide the fact that they are statistically failing you. But first, we have to talk about the waiter metaphor. Imagine going to a 5-star restaurant. The waiter brings you frozen soup, no drinks, no bread. He sits down at the table and eats half of your meal. Then he hands you a bill for the full price. You'd call the police. You'd call it a scam. Yet, this is the managed fund industry. 85% of professional fund managers fail to beat a simple, dumb S&P 500 index fund over 10 years. They are charging you a premium for underperformance. They've convinced us that investing is too complicated for regular people. They want you to feel like a passenger so they can keep charging you for the ride. It's the only industry where you pay the waiter even if the food is cold. I remember the first time this really hit me. I was sitting there looking at a 401k plan, not casually, actually trying to understand it. I opened the prospectus, and it's just pages of noise. Long sentences, tiny fonts, words nobody uses in real life. It felt less like information and more like a deterrent. And I caught myself thinking, I'm not reading all this. That's when it clicked. This isn't an accident. The system doesn't hide fees behind secrecy. It hides them behind boredom. Because if something is painful enough to read, most responsible people will just assume it's fine and move on with their lives. So let's do the part we're usually discouraged from doing. Let's actually look at the math. Same starting point, same monthly contributions. The only difference? One plan charges almost nothing. The other quietly takes about 1% a year. Over time, that gap turns into roughly $280,000. Not because you made a bad decision, not because you were reckless, but because a small fee was allowed to run on autopilot for decades. And here's the part that still bothers me the most. That fee doesn't pause when things go wrong. If the market drops 20%, they don't share the pain. They still take their percentage. Just from what's left. You carry the uncertainty, you sit through the crashes, and the cost keeps ticking quietly, no matter what's happening to you. You don't need a manager. You need a mirror and a simple plan. Here's how you plug the leak right now. 1. The expense ratio audit. Log in tonight. Find the expense ratio. If it's over 0.1%, you are being robbed. Period. 2. Kill the target date trap. Many target date funds have fee inception. They charge a fee on a fund that charges a fee on another fund. 3. Become the dumb investor. The smart money trades too much and pays too much. The dumb money buys the whole market, pays 0.03%, and waits. The dumb money always wins. Stop paying for a suit you don't get to wear. Your retirement isn't a charity for Wall Street. Every 0.1% you save today is a month of freedom you're buying for your future self. I'm Zeke. I explain the math they want to hide. If you just checked your fees and realized you're bleeding cash, tell me in the comments. Let's find the exit together. I'll see you in the next one.